Call me crazy, but I have a different opinion on what's going to happen on January 6th. And obviously, January 6th is the day where Congress counts the Electoral College and decide who the next president is. I'm going to sound like some crazy conspiracy theorist, but hear me out below and, comment below and let me know if I've gone completely crazy, which is possible, believe me, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it. But first, we need to take a look at Donald Trump's tweet first. I think that'll be the first clue we have. So he points out to this 36-page report by Peter Navarro saying, alleging election, I can't say that word, YouTube, more than sufficient to swing the victory to the president. And he also says that there's going to be a huge protest on January 6th. Be there, it will be wild. Now, I follow Donald Trump on Twitter for the past, I think since he was president, so almost forever. I'm quite familiar with his tone, with his words. I'm quite familiar with his good and entertaining tweets or messages that he puts out. I also watch pretty much all his rallies. So when I read his tweet carefully, I try and refer back to all the rallies and all the tweets where he used the word, it's going to be wild. So there's only two cases where I've seen him use that. I mean, there's many videos of him saying it, but in only two scenarios. He's either saying that the rioters are going wild.
And they can't let that happen. They can't let the looters run wild. They can't do it. You can't. You either have law and order or you don't. Philadelphia can't do what they're doing.
And that he seemed to be more saying that in Pennsylvania than anywhere else, but we'll get back to that. Or there was also a radio interview where, I'll also show you that, where he says, one party was going wild, the other party were not so happy.
And we love Rush Limbaugh. We love you, by the way, just like the chant goes. So thanks for being here.
Well, that's really nice. And Rush is special. And, he's going through a hard time with that problem. And I'll tell you what, he's so tough. He's so tough. Yeah. And he's a great gentleman. We gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest award you can get. And I gave it to him in Congress. It was very interesting to see. One side was absolutely going wild, and the other side wasn't so excited about it. And that's the way life is. But Rush he's a great one, and there's nobody like him.
So it could either mean it's a celebration, or there's going to be rioting. Or in this case, I think it might be both. So, perhaps I'm reading too much into it, but hear me out for a moment. I think he knows how the vote is going to go on January 6th. First clue I have. Well, he did hold the transition team. Okay. Second of all, we almost know what's in that report with the foreign interference. I know they're delaying it for other reasons. I mean, they may be confused on who's interfering, if it's Russia, China, Iran, and so on, or maybe they want to include or exclude other countries, but none really matters at this point. Second clue I have, the other clue is basically, I don't think Pennsylvania, after everything they've seen and hear and evidence, are necessarily going to go on with their current vote. I mean, they may not vote for Trump, but they may just pull their electoral votes altogether. Georgia, now that's a hot mess right there, right? Even with the video that's clear. I mean, look, you can see a video and then you have major suspicion there. You can see statistical anomalies, which just so happen to be at the same corresponding time period, and you see that big spike. You kind of have a picture of what's going on. And that's not just the one thing, right? So they have all the other proofs of, underage and illegals and under 18 and, the list goes on, illegal immigrants. They may decide, this is way too tainted for us to continue where we are. In fact, like they're doing now the new Georgia runoffs, and they're using exactly the same people. In fact, those people who were whistleblowers, they fired them, which, doesn't seem like it's obvious. So what does that tell you? There's also interesting and good news happening in Wisconsin, where basically they're putting ballots in question because they were not qualified for mail-in ballots. So here's my prediction. I think, like I said, he knows how these votes are going to go. I think he has at least two of these states in the bag. Maybe Pennsylvania and Georgia, maybe Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, maybe Arizona, because I can tell you Arizona, they're quite pissed off. So maybe Arizona and Pennsylvania, I don't know. And maybe he just waiting for a third one to follow suit. And I was suspicious when I seen New Mexico on the list because, I mean, where did that come from? Yeah, I know they have one lawsuit there, but where did that come from? There was tons of lawsuits all over the place, but not New Mexico. And I was thinking about this. Maybe he's expecting Nevada also to go his way, but Nevada's only 5 points. He will need another 5 or 6 points, and that's where New Mexico goes in. That's my suspicion there. Either way, when I'm thinking it's going to be wild, perhaps he means there's going to be rioting on one side and there's going to be celebration on the other side. Because I can tell you one thing. Republicans or conservatives don't riot. They have different techniques. Refer to my other video. So we'll see how this thing goes. And again, I might be going crazy, but I have a strange feeling about this one. Let me know what you think.